Good morning, and here's our second video of our series in terms of important information for parents about startup here at George Street Middle School. Okay, so let's get to it. Today, our video will be an introduction to the admin team. We're going to try to introduce as many of the teachers at each subsequent videos. We're going to talk about something that's really important, the new startup and dismissal time, and we'll take some parent questions that have been asked at the very end. All right, here's the admin team. We have Mrs. Ashfield, who's vice principal, and she is in charge of all things dealing with grade 8. She's in charge of all the grade 8 students, the grade 8 staff, and anything dealing with what parents would have concerns in terms of grade 8. So it's Miss Ashfield, vice principal. Our newest member of the team is Miss Edmondson, and she is in charge of grade 7. So anything dealing with grade 7, you work with Miss Edmondson. And this is me. I am the principal in charge of grade 6. And anything dealing with grade 6, you connect with me. Now, the way our school functions is that as an admin team, we carry over with the students. So this year in grade 6, next year I'll be with the grade 7s, and the following year I'd be with the grade 8s. So grade 6 parents, you are stuck with me for 3 years. All right, let's talk about our school day and what it will look like. In order to accommodate extra bus runs, all of the schools, the secondary schools, I believe, in the Fredericton area are pretty much starting an hour later, give or take a few minutes. At least in our building, it's an hour later. So the building will open at 8:30 a.m. and the buses will be arriving between 8:45 and 9:15 a.m. School starts at 9:25 a.m. A student would be considered late after this time. And end of day will be 3:50 p.m. So everything will be shifted an hour. And district controls that. You could send me questions about it. I'll try to answer as best as I can. But this is to accommodate the extra bus runs. And from my understanding in talking with transportation, even some of our parents and community members that live out in the Keswick area, they were afraid that the kids would have extra long bus rides. My understanding is that their ride will not be any longer than it has been done in the past. Now, what does it mean? Like I said, everything is 1 hour later. One of the things that's going to be really important is that we do recommend that walkers and drives do not arrive before 9 a.m. Reason being is that we have no early morning programs as we used to have in the past. In the past, when we opened the building, the kids would come in, they'd go straight to the gym, play some sports. We had a whole bunch of clubs that would run. Band would be one of the most one that the kids would go straight to, and they would have morning practice. So we literally would have 100 students basically busy during the day. If students come early, then the only place they can go is into their classroom. So we do recommend that in order to help with hopefully some of the congestion, which we have a plan for that, and that'll be in a subsequent video. We do ask that those that can control, especially the walkers and those that will drive, do not arrive before 9 a.m. Also, upon arrival, as I stated, students go straight to their homeroom. There is no program. The breakfast program will only be starting after 9 a.m. So some of those things will happen. You can connect with the ASD-W Transportation to opt in or out of using the bus. Now that you know the time for George Street Middle School, and probably some of the schools that you'll find out today as well, because I think every school is supposed to relay this information or whatever their start times are, you may at this point say, I can drive my child now, or no, I can't anymore. So the district has allowed an opportunity, and here are the phone numbers, has allowed an opportunity for parents to opt in or out, but you have to call, and you have to do that on your behalf. I cannot do that for you, okay? So let's go back to the start time. The reason the building opens at 8:30 is that that's when we will have a plan in place for that, but students cannot come any earlier than that. Nobody except staff can be in the building at that time until that time. Buses are supposed to arrive between 8:45 and 9:15, and 9:25 is the school day start. 3:50 is the end day, and buses will be picking up the kids roughly between 3:50 and 4 o'clock, normally as they've done in the past. A couple of parent questions. Now, some of you have asked about the masks that we are collecting, that we will sell to students, I guess is a better word, that we will give the money to the breakfast program. Simply email me. Email if you want a purple or a gold, and a small or a large. I think for middle school students, a small is quite appropriate. Large is quite large. It's really meant for adult. And sometime in the next couple of weeks, I'll connect with you so that your child could have their mask for startup. The other question that came up was about, well, how come only students wear masks? No, everybody will need to wear a mask. This is how the mask ways are going to work, because I have the back to school document that was given to us. Number one, all staff and students will need to wear masks in common areas. In other words, if I'm roaming the hallways, I will have my mask. I have to have my mask. If I'm in my office, I'll take my mask off. If a student comes into my office, I will put my mask on, and so will a student. So basically because those will be seen, my office will be seen as a common area. And that's the same with the students and with staff. Now, one of the questions that came out for parents that asked, well, what about supply teachers and teachers that see more than one class? Supply teachers will have to wear masks throughout the whole day, from my understanding. Now, that could change, but they also have to stay at a certain distance. Whereas teachers that see more than one class, like our phys ed teachers, our music teachers, art, and teachers that see more than one class during the day, they will need to do 1 meter physical distance between themselves and the student. So basically there are, and we'll have this written down in a much better way for parents to see, because it's actually going to be part of our operations plan, which, by the way, some parents will be involved in helping to draft. So that is it for today. Please keep the questions coming. We try to answer as many as we can. Some of them, if we haven't answered you yet, it's because we're seeking clarification or something of that nature, so that we give you the most accurate information. And there's the email where you could send it to. All right, well, that's it for today, and have a great week.